Hello, my name is Edwin Garcia, and welcome back to my channel. The NBA playoffs are officially underway. Play-in tournaments are done with, and we have the bracket set. So, I thought it'd be fun to go over every single first-round matchup and make some predictions. Let's get into it. I'm going to start out west and then make my way east. First round matchup that I'm going to start with is the Utah Jazz versus the Memphis Grizzlies. Now, I'll make it short and sweet. Memphis Grizzlies were able to survive the play-in tournament. They beat the Spurs and they beat the Warriors. Just amazing classic game. I'm still going to go with the Utah Jazz winning. I think the Utah Jazz win in 5. It's great that Ja Morant's taking that next step and led his team to the playoffs, but I just think that the Utah Jazz have too much this year, and they're going to win it pretty easily, pretty handily in 5 games. Next up, we have the LA Clippers and the Dallas Mavericks, a rematch from last year's playoff matchup. I'm taking the LA Clippers. I think the Mavericks are going to give them some trouble, are going to give them some challenges. Luka Doncic, and he's a superstar. I think he's going to give them trouble, but I still think the Clippers will win in 6. Denver, Portland. Denver's missing, of course, their key player Jamal Murray, and Portland had to fight really hard to avoid the play-in tournament and secure themselves a 6th seed. I'm going with the Denver Nuggets in 7. I think it's going to be a grinded out, really hard-fought matchup, but I think Denver does pull it off in 7 games. And the final matchup in the West for the first round is the Phoenix Suns versus the LA Lakers. I'm going with the LA Lakers, the best number 7 seed, maybe of all time. I think they're going to handle this in 6 games. I think it's very likely they lose game 1. And because of that, I think that it'll go 6 games. If they win game 1, I really think it can go 5. But, I'm assuming they're going to lose that first game. It'll go 6 games, Lakers win. Now, on the East Coast, we're going to start with the Philadelphia 76ers versus the Washington Wizards. Now, I think Philly is going to handle this pretty easily. I'm going to go Philadelphia 76ers in 5, but I think they're going to take care of business. Philadelphia's been in a class on their own in the East pretty much all year, and I think that's going to continue on even in the playoffs. I got Philly in 5. The New York Knicks are good again, and they're playing the Atlanta Hawks, the 4 and 5 seed matchup. I'm going to go with the New York Knicks here. I think they're only going to lose to an absolutely elite, clearly superior team to them. They're coached by Tom Thibodeau, and if anyone knows Tom Thibodeau's history is that he maximizes his team's potential, and he only really loses playoff matchups against teams that are clearly superior to his team. I don't think the Atlanta Hawks fit that description, so I think the New York Knicks will win, and they will win their first playoff series here with Tom Thibodeau under the helm. Next up is the Milwaukee Bucks against the Miami Heat. This is a rematch from last year's bubble playoff matchup, which was just a classic where Jimmy Butler really started to become even more of a legend than he already is. He really took it to Giannis and showed that he was one of the best players on the planet. I think this time the Milwaukee Bucks will get their revenge. They'll show that they've grown. They'll show they've improved. And I think the Milwaukee Bucks will win this series in 6 games. And finally, we have the Brooklyn Nets against the Boston Celtics. I think this one's going to be a breeze. I got the Brooklyn Nets in 5. I don't think they really have much of a challenge here with the Boston Celtics. Now that they have Brown out for the year, I just think the Celtics don't have enough. Jason Tatum is still, obviously a really superior athlete, but I just think that's just a little bit too much for him to try to take on these Nets. I think they're going to be ready and show their focus, and I think they're going to win their first round matchup against Boston. All right, those are my first round predictions for the NBA playoffs. Let me know in the comments below who you have. If you have any different picks than me, maybe you think there's going to be some more sweeps or lopsided series, or maybe you think there's going to be a few more that go 7 games that I have predicting in there already. Let me know in the comments below, and of course, be sure to like and subscribe. I'll talk to you in the next video.